you're recording me saying, give me some shit.
Alright. Ready?
What's happening, y'all?
Hi, everybody. My name is Robin.
And I am not Robin.
No, he's
I am Hank.
Yes, he sure is.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
This is the funny part. We got lots of blooper reels for you guys.
And we'll never post it, so.
It is what it is. But we are definitely living life's journey.
And as crazy as it can get.
Craziness.
So we finally got home. As you can see, we're trying to take it easy. It's been craziness. He's back at work going
4,000 miles an hour.
No, pretty much, with his hair on fire.
It is what it is.
So we're back home, taking it easy, and with it being 111 degrees outside, we decided to be in the coolest part of the house as we can, and we're going to do our campground reviews for all the 5 different campgrounds that we went to, that we were able to go to on our trip up to Montana and back.
Yes and no. She was just talking with her hand. She's not trying to shove her finger at my nose, I promise. But as we go through all the stuff, it's going to be a little bit down and dirty, only because of the fact that we want to make sure it's not a mad, crazy thing. We don't want to do 20 minutes on each single campground, because you know what? We're just going to tell you the best and the worst, and then you guys can go look at everything else.
Yep. With that being said,
so let's jump
part number one.
The first one we went to was the Springville KOA out in Provo, Utah. It's the southern edge of Utah, right before you get in the whole Salt Lake Metroplex and stuff like that. So it was right off the highway, not too bad. You're pulling up to it, it looked like you were going to either pull into a gas station or like a weird kind of little parking lot, back alley area, but it wasn't too bad. Pull off, get into the road. And like I say, nice area, lots of green, lots of trees, very compact, but not bad.
When I went in to go ahead and check us in to the park, due to the fact that the reservations were done online, most of my information was already in the system, so it was very readily available to the clerk that was there. The individual that checked us in was very nice, very informative. The information gave us a map of the park, and showed us where the site we were going into. She gave us information regarding the area that we were in, and also the updated information regarding the COVID restrictions for that location, like where we had to wear masks, where masks were optional, so we didn't get stuck trying to go to a grocery store and not have a mask with us.
And so my favorite thing about the whole place definitely had to have been the Wi-Fi. We heard all the horror stories about Wi-Fi, but even there, with the entire park full and everything we had to see, the Wi-Fi was still strong enough we were able to stream all of our internet, TV, and stuff like that off the open Wi-Fi that was part of getting into the park.
My favorite thing about the park was the ease of movement, as far as everybody was able to get in. Let me clarify that. The way they had it set up, when you understood the map, where everything was laid out, you understood where everything was, so you knew how it was set up. And
my least favorite thing about it would be the way that everybody was packed inside there. So there was no, but everything was so packed. It was nice the way they had it put in there, but this being our very first RV park going into it, was kind of scary getting the positions, like, are we going to fit or we're not going to fit? We get out, are we going to hit anything, or are we not? That, and also we were sitting about maybe 2.5 feet max from our slide to our neighbor's slide because of how tight it was.
And I would have to agree, that would be the dislike about the park itself, was you had a mustache green sliver of grass spacing between each park. So you're basically kissing cousins to your neighbor, and you have to position yourself in just the right way so you know you had the perfect spacing between you and your neighbor, or you're basically kissing your neighbor's slide.
They had it planned out well.
Yeah, they have it laid out just right.
Next one we went to was Butte KOA. It's up in Butte, Montana, or as those of us who are from Montana, as Montana state citizens call it, Butte, Montana. It wasn't bad getting in there off the interstate. It was easy to find by the signage, but I will tell you that if you're not ready for it, you start driving around, you're going to start running into a lot of rural neighborhoods and areas. Overall, getting into it, though, it wasn't too bad. Once we pulled in straight, and they told us right where we should go to, and the map was easy to find where we're going to.
When I went in to talk with the person regarding our site, it was, again, it was only overnight. when we got everything in and stuff, it was very quickly done. We had been on the road for a very long time, so we called them to let them know we were running late. So they told us if we had come in after hours, they would have on the door for us our site number and the map. Again, they gave us a map. They told us updated information regarding the area and regarding COVID. So we were basically informed of all the things that we needed to know regarding that area. Again, very helpful crew that were there inside the office when we arrived.
So my favorite thing about the place, I would have to say, would be the atmosphere. When you pulled in, everybody was friendly. The dog park, while she was checking in, I was able to get the puppies in there, take care of everything. Lots of stuff for the families there, like a gold mining pan sluicing thing, and a bunch of other stuff there for families. We didn't take advantage of a lot of it because 10 hours on the road, in case you didn't know, check our tire video out where we had our tires blown out and we were like, holy crap. But overall, that would be my favorite thing, was just the atmosphere there. Everybody was helpful, everybody was nice, and it was very inviting. You felt like you were meant to be there.
The one thing I did like about it was one where they put us. They put us right at the end. It was more of a camping style campsites, and it had very wider spacing. Though you were next to your neighbor, you had more space, I guess, than the previous one.
Least favorite thing I think about that place would have been, definitely would have been all the bugs. It is Montana. There's lots of bugs that are out there. Some of the mosquitoes in Montana, as we found out, can bite you through denim jeans.
Yep.
So just be mindful of it when you get out there again. But that would be, I think, in my mind, the least favorite thing, because as soon as you walked outside, they were on you. The
least favorite thing, to clarify, would be more defining of the road, the clarification of the lanes. When we were driving in, we were trying to they gave us a map of how were laid out, but you couldn't, on some parts of it, you couldn't clarify, was this the particular one we were supposed to go down. That would be the only thing that I would say, if they could clarify, like put up a definite flag. Anyways, overall, I liked it. I would, if we were driving back on the route, I'm definitely will be staying there again, because and this is also, again, take it with our opinions with a grain of salt. What we like may not be what you like.
Yes. So next we went to was Dick's RV up in Great Falls. Again, a lot better. We had 3-hour drives instead of 10 hours. It was definitely a whole lot better to get through. Finding it was very easy, getting off on exit 0, 10th Avenue South, getting down. However, one of the things they would tell you is be careful on your way in. There's a 14-foot tall bridge. When they say 14 foot, they mean 14 foot.
When we checked in, everybody was very helpful, getting us the information that we needed. They updated us on the COVID within this Great Falls, Montana area. They gave us a map of the park itself. So they were very helpful with that. The Wi-Fi was okay, but just to let you know that's, again, several things that take place. But they told me that if I needed to download, to come to the office, and that would be the best way to do it.
Yep, definitely.
So
I would say my favorite thing about the place would be the ease of getting into everything that was there. Even in the midst of, while we were there, they were doing some repairs to the water mains because some of the lines had broken underground. But getting into the actual place, the pull-through site, was a whole lot easier to get into once we figured out where we're going to and where we need to get to.
I have to say, I have to agree with that as well. One of my favorite things was how open it was, like a big, huge land that everybody was laid out on. You had enough space to maneuver, to get yourself in, to set up, so there was no real worry about kissing your cousin next to you. You just had enough room to get yourself in and then take your time.
I'd have to say probably the least favorite thing I had about there, I think, was there's lots of amenities there that they had, which we're grateful for. They had laundry, they had shower rooms, they had a RV store there with stuff you might need. They were able to help us out with faxing stuff. All kinds of it was great.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I would say, though, is that for the amount of spaces that they have there, the amount of laundry machines they had there, because there was only 3 washers and 3 dryers, but there's 86 sites in there for RVs.
My thing is that the internet, overall, if you're counting on the internet to be your source of streaming and doing work and stuff like that, it's not going to work. Like you said, there's 86 sites, and there's several people that actually live there long term. They're there, and so you're going to need to have some other source of ways to have your internet. So on to the next one.
Yep. As we look forward, when we left, we went down to Hot Springs in Utah. It was in northern Utah, southern Idaho. I can't remember if it was actually in Utah or Idaho right now, but we went to the Hot Springs KOA there. Wasn't bad. Very long side road you had to pull off of the interstate and go about 12 miles back to go find. We're freaking out where the KOA was, only because when we pulled in to find it, it's right behind a huge, and I mean huge, water park. It was big. So
when we arrived there, the weather was pretty wonky. We actually had rain that day. The lady there was very helpful. She was very, very busy because the water park had just opened the day before. She looked at our rig, and she's like, the site that she originally had us going into, she said we were going to have very large issues trying to get into the spot, so she moved us into a different one. They did some modifications to and upgrades to their site to make it more beautiful, more kind of,
well, they're just trying to help it out. They're putting curbs in and stuff like 6 to 8 inches up off the ground, mainly to keep it where people weren't driving on the grass and driving through sites, and
make it
aesthetically to it.
Yeah, that would be the word I was looking. Aesthetics, to make it look pretty. But the thing is that they added that curbing that around the grass areas and the pits and stuff like that created obstacles for people that are towing their rigs. And what did you think?
Well, I think my favorite thing about it, I would have to say, was proximity to everything around. Like everything that you would need to get to, whether you're going to the water park, whether you're going to the actual hot springs, whether you're going to a food place, grocery store, where everything is literally within a 5-minute walking distance for that small town.
What I liked about it was everything was within walking distance. It reminded me of that movie Mystic Pizza. If you ever seen it, I'll put a link to the movie somewhere around here. Everything was that atypical touristy town, so if you wanted to go take a look at, you want to go to the pizza place, you want to go to the grocery store, it was like 3-minute walk. Boom, 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 you're there.
So least favorite thing, it's a tough call between two different things. First one being that there were so many people there, but again, I realize that's probably not typical because it was opening week of the opening weekend, I should say, for the water park. So I know that was part of it. So it's probably not gonna be my least favorite because of it, but I think my overall least favorite would just be as far as layout for getting into and getting out of. Mm-hmm. So I just think that the layout, the way it was, I think if you have smaller trailers,
yeah,
you had like
a 26.
I would say even, I'd probably say more like 10 to 15 foot travel trailers or small pop-ups, you'd be okay. Or definitely Class Bs and vans and stuff like that. If you've got Class As, if you're not hauling anything in a trailer, it might be easy for you to get around. If you've got a trailer or you've got a tow behind in any way, shape, or form longer than 12 feet, it's going to take you a little bit of time and have clear communication because
it took some time. And I have to agree. That's I was up all night freaking out of how we were going to get out. I would say it was my worst thing because I was trying to figure out, when we pull out, how are we going to get around that triangular angle to get back out and onto the street to get back onto the interstate.
Let's just do this and it'll work. And we did it,
yeah,
and we got right out of town.
I think we walked that path up and down, coordinating a way to get the RV out without hitting anybody.
And it worked out really well. God was with us and blessed that day. And then after we took off there, we went down to the Cedar City KOA, which is out near Zion National Park. Actually, a lot of people that were there were trying to get to Zion. Again, everything was opening up, so everybody was trying to go out there. And we stayed there for 2 days this time because we knew before we made that final trek going into California, we wanted to have a day to just sit with us without anything going on.
Especially after the hair-raising days that we've had up to that point.
Yep.
We just wanted to relax.
And getting into there was really easy. Got off the interstate. We had everything plugged into the GPS. We also saw signs everywhere. And it takes you straight into it. Getting into it wasn't too bad. The only thing I would say when you're getting into it, if you have a long one, like with that extended back end that's got lowered, you will most definitely scrape on the way in. There's entry part, that would be the one thing I would tell you is take a little bit of a skewed angle. Don't go direct in. Don't try and make it a direct turn.
When I checked in, we had notified them that we were coming in. We were coming in a little bit earlier than check-in time, and they were ready to receive us. They were so excited to have us come in because they're fellow Harley riders too, so they were so excited to have us come in.
The hosts were also retired military, so we had a lot of conversations about that.
And so when we showed up, got to process all the information. They gave us maps, told us which areas to take the bike for rides. Were very informative, especially with the updated information regarding COVID, because they went back down a level in regarding their procedures. So they gave us that information. So she was very informative. Her and her husband both were very informative. They even escorted us to the site to show us how to get in and out. Especially, we told them we were going to be leaving really early in the morning on the day of checkout. So they showed us how to quickly get out the day that we were leaving. So it was very, very, very helpful on all that information, and we had a blast there.
Yep.
So,
which flows perfectly, and like my favorite thing about it, I would have to say, was the people that were there working there and the other people that were staying there. Very, very open and friendly. While she was in checking in, had a family, was talking to me about many different things, the trails to go on, where to take the bike to. They were helpful with different knowledge of things. So overall, that was my favorite thing, was just the atmosphere and the people helping us out.
One of my favorite things that I loved was the layout. The layout was very easy to see where everything was laid out. It was very easy to get into our site. You had different options, whether it was the left to the right of you, for your hookups on both sides. It's just the way the park was put up, even though it was an older KOA style, it was put in a way that made it flow and lively and friendly.
Yeah. Least favorite thing definitely is the entry and exit point getting in. So you entered on one side, you exited on the other side of the building, but no matter which way you looked at it, the angles going in and out were...
Steve. My worst dislike on that place would be... I would say would be the angle of entry, but I don't really. I think that has to do with the city, actually, because of the road being pitched the way it is.
Yeah, it is.
But people were awesome. The time was so. I would definitely going in and out of. I would definitely stay there because there are some areas in the mountains that I want to go ride again, because we didn't get to go. We didn't get to go completely through them. Yeah,
my favorite thing about that whole trip definitely was the bike ride itself. The bike ride was amazing. When you guys see it, it was pretty cool to know that we're cutting out through July and there was still snow on the ground. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. The one favorite thing about which overall trip that we got
to the campgrounds that were found in the review.
The whole thing is we got to experience and meet people and get away from California for a while. We got to learn about what we needed to do to RV driving and what we didn't like about driving. No more 10 hours. But this was our first experience, and we can do it. We know how. We are getting the know-how of it, and this wasn't a whim. This is something we really wanted to do, and we like it. And I think that's overall what we are learning about this. So the whole review of this is to don't be afraid to try it. Just get out there and do it.
I think for me, my favorite overall thing in regards to all the campgrounds we went to was figuring out how easy it was to be prepared, which I think came from our preparation for even just getting into RV life, as far as all the different things we needed and all the things we got for when we stayed here where we're at our home station right now in 29 Palms. In the preparations for it, how easy it is to get in with all the different sites, and especially I would say with all the KOAs, the friendliness of everybody there. Everybody in the RV community, everywhere we went. So I think that was the biggest thing for me that I liked about the overall trip, is seeing how helpful everybody was, how friendly everybody was in all the RV parks. So just like Rob said, I would say for the overall thing in this, get out and go experience the people. If you got an RV, get out and go see some stuff. Go enjoy this creation God's given. Go see some of the stuff that's out there.
We saw some really cool things.
Like she said, what we saw on the motorcycle, now that we got everything set up, man, we got some awesome plans going in the future for what we're going to do, and I think that Ivy's going to get a whole lot more mileage on her. And we got some more things to tell you guys about stuff coming up. So overall, I would say we loved the trip. Didn't like having to do all the maintenance things and some of the emergency stuff, which you guys will see later on. Holy crap, trailer tires are expensive when you get the right ones. You guys will see more about that later on. But overall, preparation was good, and I think it was awesome.
And I think we had a fun time.
Yep.
All right, sound good.
So,
you guys take care of each other, love one another, make amazing memories, and stay tuned for the next video.
yes.
And some more creations that come up around the bend. So thank you guys for being here. Peace, love, and purple bunnies. I'm gonna have to find an emoji of a purple bunny jumping across the screen just for you.
Probably.
Okay, bye everybody.
Later.